It's the 4th annual Guns and Hoses benefit in Joplin. Why the Pittsburgh Parks and Recreation Department is working to get kids outdoors. A local group hits the streets in downtown Joplin. We'll tell you why.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
We could be in for an active weather pattern over the next several days. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Chris Warner. We go straight to Nick Kelly now for the latest on what's coming our way. Nick.
Well, so far as what we dealt with today, Chris, you couldn't have asked for a better day, quite frankly. Even though we had increasing cloud cover throughout the day, folks, we had a chilly start turn into a nice warm afternoon. 52 the start at Joplin Regional and a high of 78. Warmer than our average high of 74 for this first day of the month of May. We saw cloud cover build throughout the course of the day, but that's because our storm system that gave us rain and storms on Tuesday and Wednesday wants to make a repeat appearance as it finally starts to work out of Texas and head in our direction as we head toward tomorrow. Once we deal with that, we'll have another system to our northwest working on Monday and into Tuesday. That could bring some strong, possibly severe storms. So we got 2 systems to track as we go into full weather later on. But right now we're sitting in the mid 60s for the most part. And with the cloud cover and the south breeze in place, we're not dropping off very much tonight. Lows in the lower 60s. And we'll trend toward a mild afternoon with highs around 74. That's despite an increase in our chance for scattered thunderstorms tomorrow, Chris. So we'll break down the timing of these rain chances tomorrow and how we look for the next storm system on Monday and Tuesday coming up in a bit.
All right, Nick, thank you. Well, Joplin's fire and police departments went head-to-head this evening in a Guns and Hoses basketball match. Now, this is the event's 4th year and gets the 2 community-serving groups together to see how they compete on the court. The match doubled as a fundraiser and was put on by Bright Futures with the goal to help Joplin students in need.
We have so many students who just really don't have everything they need in order to be successful in school. They're up against some barriers that some of our other kids don't face. They're lacking things like enough food to not go hungry on the weekends, or clothes, or school supplies.
The funds raised tonight will help buy food for those facing hunger across the school district. Today, Pittsburgh Parks and Recreation held their Outdoor Kids Day event to encourage kids to be outside. The annual OK Kids Day held numerous events around the city to get the kids outdoors. This year, due to the pandemic, they had to limit their activities and the number of people registered. The biggest change was the removal of their canoeing activity, but they're saying their goal of getting kids active hasn't changed.
This day is so important because kids get the opportunity to come outdoors, drop the electronics for the day, and just get back out with nature. And that's a huge aspect that we're missing nowadays with kids.
Pittsburgh Parks and Recreation says this day gives kids an opportunity to reconnect with nature, and activities included fishing, archery, as well as a number of other fun outdoor events. Well, plenty of people were out and about this morning in Baxter Springs and enjoying day number 2 of Cowtown Days at the historic Johnston Public Library grounds. There were tons of fun things to do, including checking out the 100 craft vendors, listening to some live music, grabbing some tasty barbecue, and a whole lot more. The pandemic canceled last year's Cowtown Days, but in 2021, it looks like folks in and around Baxter Springs, as you can see here, were as well as their pets, like that one right there, were itching to get outside and make this year's get-together a smash hit.
We didn't get to have it for a while because of the pandemic, but they're expecting 2,000 to 3,000 people here today throughout the day. I think that's great for our community. It will bring a lot of people in.
With quarantine, I had 7 people living in one house, so it wasn't fun. So actually getting out of the house was a lot better than staying in one house with 7 people.
That's a better time anywhere. Cowtown Days 2021 also featured a car show and even some Old West gunfights, a pie competition, and a beard and mustache contest. Riggs Chiropractic teamed up with the Southeast Kansas Humane Society as well as local food trucks for a Food Trucks and Fur Babies event. Now, the event took place at Riggs Chiropractic and offered free spinal screenings as well as opportunities for good food and for animals to find a new home. The Humane Society says the event was a great way to gain awareness and a great day for new adoptions.
It's going to bring a lot of people in today. Just lets everybody know who we are, what we're doing, the animals that need to have their forever homes, and to show how cute the dogs are today.
They say getting the fur babies out in the public eye and having them socialize helps with their goal in getting them adopted. A group of volunteers from Forest Park Baptist Church in Joplin took advantage of the gorgeous weather that Nick Kelly told us about this morning as well. And what they were doing is they were helping to beautify downtown Joplin. The group met this morning at 9 at City Hall before taking to Main Street in downtown to plant fresh flowers in the city's flower baskets. In addition to planting flowers, volunteers took time to clean up trash and pull weeds. Volunteers say getting out in the community is a great blessing.
I would just say that we love Joplin, we love doing this, and we want to do it more often, just to show how much we care about our community. And we're just so excited to see and hear about the different ways that people have been encouraged through this opportunity.
Albert Ferris of Albert's Greenhouse in Joplin donated all the flowers, soil, and fertilizer for the project. And the weather was picture perfect today for the Webb City citywide rummage sale. Dozens of homes participated across the city, offering a number of great deals and bargains. One home was selling items that were donated to them to help raise money for local students to go on mission trips.
It brings a joy inside that we're serving the Lord and, doing a hobby and somehow turning that hobby into serving Christ.
Andrew says it's a year-long process to get everything collected for the sale. And we take this time now to honor one of our many four-state heroes. Seaman Second Class Brady Pruitt served in the Navy in World War II. He was on board the USS Oklahoma when it was attacked at Pearl Harbor. Pruitt went down with the Oklahoma on that fateful day, his hometown, Liberal, Missouri. And we are proud to recognize Seaman Second Class Brady Pruitt, tonight's four-state hero. And remember, to learn more about other heroes or to nominate one of your own, just head over to our website at KOAMNewsNow.com. And that is a look at our top stories and a quick check of that forecast on the KOAM News at 10. Still ahead, coronavirus cases across the world hitting new records, and India is being hit the hardest. Plus, the latest as the U.S. begins pulling troops out of Afghanistan. The world's coronavirus cases are hitting record levels, driven in part by a devastating surge in India. New daily infections there topped 400,000. At the same time, America's pandemic pain is easing. Now, over the past week, new infections are down in 26 states. They rose only in 4. And vaccinations have provided a critical boost. More than 100 million American adults are now fully vaccinated, and that's fueling summer travel plans for many. CBS's Danya Bacchus has the latest.
More packed planes are taking flight. As of today, Delta Airlines is no longer blocking middle seats. It was the last U.S. carrier to do so. But CEO Ed Bastian cautions this is not a return to normal, saying, quote, "We are still operating in a pandemic. Changes such as cleanliness protocols will be permanent." And starting Tuesday, the U.S. will restrict flights from India, allowing only U.S. citizens and permanent residents on planes. Cases there surging out of control.
The situation is extremely grim. The system is at a brink of collapse.
Today, the country hit a dismal world record. New infections topping 400,000. Hospitals are overwhelmed. Oxygen supplies desperately low. A hospital fire today added to the misery. At least 18 people died. Here in the U.S., vaccinations are boosting America's recovery. Nearly 40% of adults are now fully vaccinated.
That's 100 million Americans with a sense of relief and peace of mind, knowing that after a long and hard year, they're protected from the virus.
And there's new concern, reaching those who haven't yet received a shot.
This is an all-hands-on-deck effort where we've all got to chip in.
Still, Oregon is facing another outbreak and new restrictions. Georgia's governor removed many remaining COVID safety measures. One health official warns it is still too soon.
We're in the 7th inning. We're doing well, and we can still lose the game.
Those with travel plans will still face restrictions. The TSA just announced its COVID rules. Mask mandates at airports, on planes, trains, and buses will be extended through mid-September. Danya Bacchus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Olympia Dukakis passed away today at the age of 89. Dukakis was a character actress, perhaps best known for her Oscar-winning supporting role in the Cher film Moonstruck, which was released in 1987. The actress also played a wealthy widow in Steel Magnolias. During her career, she performed in more than 60 films, 130 stage productions, and 50 television series. She was also the cousin of former Massachusetts Governor Michael Dukakis. In a Facebook post, her brother wrote that Olympia had been in failing health for months. No cause of death was immediately released. President Biden ordered U.S. troops to begin their withdrawal from Afghanistan starting today. The Taliban marked the day with an attack. CBS's Charlie D'Agata is in Afghanistan with more.
CBS News has learned that today the Kandahar airfield in the south, a key hub in the American pullout, came under rocket attack. A U.S. military spokesman told us it caused no injuries or damage to equipment. We can confirm that fighter jets from the USS Eisenhower conducted a precision strike this evening on a suspected Taliban position, destroying rockets aimed at the airfield. The commander of U.S. forces in Afghanistan, General Scott Miller, has warned the Taliban there would be retaliation against such action.
We have the military means to respond forcefully to any type of attacks against the coalition, and the military means to support the Afghan security forces.
Timed to coincide with the pullout, the Taliban released a slick new video showing heavily armed fighters going through military exercises looking more like state-run forces than a ragtag militia. On the eve of the withdrawal, a suicide car bomb south of Kabul left dozens dead, including many high school students who were staying at a hostel. The latest in a surge of violence ahead of the withdrawal of U.S. and NATO forces, which officially got underway today. The White House has warned that American forces would be defended with all the tools at their disposal if attacked. That includes deploying B-52 bombers to the region and sending hundreds of Army Rangers to Afghanistan. Today, the Afghan National Security Advisor told us they're expecting an escalation in Taliban attacks over the next few weeks, not necessarily against U.S. forces. It's not in the Taliban's interests to get in the way of America's exit. Charlie D'Agata, CBS News, Kabul.
Still ahead, Nick Kelly and his complete forecast.
Despite an increase in our clouds, we managed another warm day across the area. Not quite as warm as the highs around 80 that we saw yesterday. Still, though, when we can get highs in the upper 70s, we'll certainly take it, considering how active it's going to get as we go throughout a good portion of the next week. But you can see how we started the day out with plenty of sunshine, then the cloud cover picking up. Not only over indigo sky outside of Seneca, Missouri, but all across the area. The cloud cover, it's staying in place for tonight, but that's helping us out with temperatures. We're sitting still at 65 at Joplin with the south breeze at 7 miles per hour. That's kicking the humidity back up too at 70%. Most of us in general sitting in the mid 60s, but there are a couple of corners like areas around Table Rock Lake and parts of southeast Kansas from, let's say, Chanute, Parsons Points west, where you're still trying to hold on to some upper 60s. You're certainly trying to do that with that southerly wind that we had today at 5 to 15, a few gusts near 20. That breeze is still in place, so it'll certainly keep us mild overnight, but I anticipate overnight lows only dropping off into the lower 60s. Still a mild night, and at least a mild day tomorrow, despite our next storm system coming into play. This system working across Texas, Louisiana, and parts of the Gulf Coast. This is actually the same upper level wave that helps to bring rain and storm chances in here on Tuesday and Wednesday. So this is kind of making a repeat appearance. That'll be the first system we're watching, but can't help but notice too at the surface our next cold front to the north and west. That's going to be a key player in our forecast with our thunderstorm chances for Monday and possibly going into Tuesday morning once we get this upper low out in the Pacific Northwest to push that front our way. Before it can do that, this upper low with our cloud cover and the returning rain and thunderstorm chances, that'll be the first system we'll have to tackle as we wrap up the weekend and at least going through the next few days. So thankfully, maybe a couple of stray showers trying to clip up very far southern counties overnight, but the vast majority of you will stay dry with mostly cloudy skies in place. and mild temperatures. Most of us dropping back into the lower 60s. Then as we head past 10 a.m., certainly by lunchtime tomorrow, we'll see more moisture in here, resulting in some scattered rain and thunderstorms, mainly along and east of US 59 from southeast Kansas and Oklahoma and working into southwestern Missouri. I don't think this will be all-day rain chances, but we certainly can't rule out some bouts of moderate rainfall and a couple of thunderstorms at the very least. 61 in the morning, 70 by noon, highs near 74. Even if with these thunderstorm chances, I don't anticipate these being severe. So we'll keep an eye on that until they clear out as we go through Sunday evening. Quiet and mild to start your Monday morning out. Then that next cold front wants to fire off not only some scattered storms along the front, but maybe a couple of clusters of storms that might want to ride across parts of the area as we go into Tuesday morning. That's the system we'll have to watch for a low severe threat. It's clipping a good portion of the area, and we've got that in play from 5 o'clock Monday evening to about 3 a.m. Tuesday, with hail, wind gusts, and heavy rain being the biggest threats. Then once we get past this system with maybe a few leftover showers on Tuesday morning, we'll clear things out as we go throughout the rest of the day, and hopefully by then we'll enjoy at least a little time to dry out, because even though we're not expecting much rain out of tomorrow's rain chances, by the time we get past the second system, we could have maybe half an inch to up to 2 inches of rain before we get a chance to dry out Tuesday afternoon, and certainly by Wednesday. 74 tomorrow, 81 on Mondays, lower 60s behind the front on Tuesday, 68. Thankfully dry Wednesday, Chris, but we'll be back with rain and storm chances Thursday and to carry us into next weekend.
Definitely a week worth watching coming up.
Especially Monday. We'll keep an eye on those storm chances for everyone.
All right, Nick, thank you so much. We're coming up in sports. Fort Scott native and former MLB player Adam Laroche is a special guest at Little League opening day. Plus, COC opponents Carthage and Joplin meet for the second time in a week. Danny Terzer's got it all next.
Former Webb City standout Zach Davidson is drafted by the Minnesota Vikings today. He's picked in the 5th round at 168 overall. Davidson is a tight end and played collegiate ball at Central Missouri. He was a 2019 All-American after racking up 15 touchdowns on 40 receptions and averaging 22.35 yards per catch. The J.L. Hutchinson Little League hosts its opening day ceremony today. A very special guest is taking part in the festivities. Fort Scott native Adam Laroche throws out the first pitch. Laroche played in the majors for 12 seasons as a first baseman and is a big supporter of youth baseball. He stuck around to chat with fans, sign autographs, and take pictures.
The amount of friendships and lifelong memories that you get when you're 7, 8 years old, 10, 12 years old, playing on these fields. And again, I don't think they probably won't realize it now, but we all look back and think of those and remember those times as some of the best we ever had in baseball.
Pittsburgh State baseball is riding a 5-game winning streak. Today, the Gorillas are on the road to finish out a series against Missouri Western. In Game 1 of a doubleheader, PSU gets by Missouri Western 7-6. Dawson Pomeroy and Brett Daly drive in 2 runs apiece. Then a big 7th inning in Game 2 lifts PSU over Missouri Western again 5-2. The Gorillas complete the series sweep. Missouri Southern also on the road, starting a series against Northwest today. The Lions take Game 1 6-2. Jordan Fitzpatrick gets a solo homer and racks up 3 RBI total. Then Missouri Southern wins again, this time 11-4. Fitzpatrick and Dexter Swims combine for 7 RBI. In the COC today, Carthage hosts Joplin for the second time this season. In the first meeting just last week, the game went into extra innings, and Joplin came out on top. Carthage with a shot at revenge. In the third, David Fiskus to center for a base hit. Cole Cooper comes home. Joplin gets the first run of the game. Same inning, Justin McReynolds pops it straight up. A sea of blue is there, but it drops. Fielding Campbell and Kyler Stokes come in. Big inning for the Eagles. They score 5. Later, Carthage at bat, a grounder into the pitcher. The Eagles turn the double play. Joplin dominates. They get the 10-2 conference win. Pittsburgh State softball is currently in 10th place in the MIAA. The Gorillas need to get to 8 to qualify for the conference tournament. Today is their last chance as PSU hosts Northwest for their final 2 games of the season. In Game 1, Alexis Kump over the fence actually hits the scoreboard. 3-run home run, Northwest leads 6-1. In the 5th, Caitlin Weiss line drive to right. Now that's good for an RBI double. Then Kaylee Burns in her final start as a Gorilla gets the strikeout to end the inning with a batter left on. Pittsburgh State makes it a close one, but Northwest takes Game 1 8-6. In Game 2, the Gorillas fall 10-7 after taking an early lead. The pair of losses today ends the season for PSU. Missouri Southern, at 3rd in the MIAA, plays their final pair of games today as well. In Game 1 against Missouri Western, the Lions win 4-3. Ashlyn Williams goes 3 for 4 at the plate and drives in 3 runs. Then Missouri Southern gets the sweep with a 3-2 win in Game 2. The Lions close out the regular season with 8 straight wins. And that's it for sports. We've got more news after this.
A world-famous building in New York City has reached a milestone. Today marked the Empire State Building's 90th birthday. On May 1st, 1931, President Herbert Hoover switched on the iconic skyscraper's lights at 11:30 in the morning. Many consider the structure to be the most recognizable skyscraper in the world. It stands 1,250 feet tall, up to the 102nd floor observatory. Then there's another 200 feet to the top of the broadcast tower. The building has undergone $165 million worth of upgrades over the past few years. Those improvements include a glass elevator, museum space, and a revamped observation deck. I can't deal with heights, so I'll take the view in from below.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cool landmark, but like if you asked me to go on top of Sears Tower or an Empire State Building, I couldn't do it.
No way, no way. It's like that giant glass slide at the U.S. Bank Building in L.A.
And it's funny we say that too, because I'll go on any roller coaster, but yet I won't do that.
No way. No worries about glass slides in our future, but maybe some storms.
Yeah, especially by late tomorrow morning, certainly tomorrow afternoon. Scattered storms though, nothing severe, not all day washout rain chances. 74 Sunday, 81 on Monday. Monday's the system we'll have to keep an eye on for some strong, possibly severe storms, Chris.
All right, Nick, thank you. And that's our time for now. We're back at 9 and 10 tomorrow, and thanks for making us part of your night.